Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ashley Evans. We're joined by Angela Zaroozny and Sharon Field from Achievement Awards Group's Travel Department. They are specialists in designing elite corporate travel experiences for top-performing executives, and they're going to share with us how they select the perfect travel destinations that balance luxury with logistical challenges and create unforgettable trips for groups of up to 500, all while staying on budget and ahead of trends. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ashley.
To start off with, Angela, why don't you tell us about what you do?
Sharon and I are the incentive travel managers at Achievement Awards Group, and I've been with the company for just over 12 years now. So travel is still regarded as the ultimate reward, and at Achievement Awards Group, we design epic travel experiences as a reward for employees, customers, or consumers for their contribution towards company goals or milestones.
And how do you go about selecting the perfect destination for those top executives?
Incentive travel provides participants with meaningful, memorable experiences that go beyond monetary rewards. And essentially, this fosters loyalty, motivation, and increased productivity in organizations.
Sharon, how do you balance luxury with logistics when planning travel for large groups?
We like to start the planning process as far as possible in advance because this helps us with securing top-notch services without having to compromise on the itinerary based on availability issues. We also look at destinations that have direct flights from South Africa, as well as hotels and resorts that are in close proximity to the airport, because this helps with alleviating waiting times and those sorts of things. We also like to ensure that we have a balance between leisure and activity time for the participants, and where possible we like to secure exclusive use of venues and hotels that we select.
Angela, what is the process behind creating a budget for these exciting trips? And how do you stay within that budget?
We work closely with the client to establish a clear budget for the trip and then provide a detailed, itemized, transparent costing. We also include estimates for a healthy beverage budget for our South African market and really ensure that all costs are included upfront so there are no costly surprises post-trip.
So when a client comes to you and they ask you to start planning an exciting trip, what is the process that you go through?
Well, Ashley, what we generally do is we would have a look at the client's brief in detail to ensure that we understand the demographics of the group as well as the client's objective. We then have a brainstorming session to select destinations that best suit the budget as well as the client's requirements. And we would then start the process of briefing our suppliers based in those particular destinations on the requirements for the trip in order for them to build an appropriate and exciting itinerary. From there, we would prepare the proposals and send them through to the client in order for them to choose their most preferred destination.
And once the destination is chosen and the trip is planned and going ahead, how involved are you in that process thereafter?
Oh, we're very, very involved from the start to the finish. We take over all aspects of preparations, which allows our client to focus on other things and not have to worry about any of the logistical or creative elements leading up to the trip.
And Angela, can you tell us any success stories that you've had in the past or any challenges that you've had to overcome?
Absolutely, it is. We have many success stories, we'd like to think, and obviously the reward for us is just seeing the travelers and participants enjoying meaningful experiences Flying over the Serengeti in a hot air balloon, watching the migration is one of our top trips that we have successfully run. And then obviously there do come challenges that are beyond our control, airline delays, weather, but we partner ourselves with trusted ground handlers, which are destination management companies, and we have a dedicated team on the ground assisting us with any challenges that may arise.
And Sharon, what's been your most memorable trip to date?
Oh, well, that's an easy one. We took 180 guests to the Rugby World Cup finals in Paris last year, and it was just the most phenomenal trip. All the arrangements ran so smoothly, and the feedback from the participants was that it really was the trip of a lifetime. And to top it all off, the Springboks won, which was definitely the cherry on the top.
Absolutely. So when you're managing groups of, say, 150 people, there are unforeseen challenges. How do you handle those?
Urbanal helps. But in all seriousness, just remain calm and professional and keep an open line of communication between the client and participants to ensure total transparency. We never overpromise and underdeliver. And things do happen. Weather changes plans, people get sick, and things beyond our control can happen. But we partner ourselves with trusted ground handlers, which are destination management companies in each country, and we have a dedicated team on the ground ensuring that any issues that arise are dealt with accordingly.
Now, obviously, all of these trips, you want them to be memorable experiences. How do you go about doing that? I'm sure there's a lot of personalization that comes into play.
Yes, definitely. Personalization is an extremely important aspect of dealing with large groups. Even though participants are part of a large group, each person should be dealt with on an individual basis. So we like to ensure that everybody's personal preferences, likes, dislikes, travel arrangements are all dealt with on an individual basis throughout the experience, because this ensures that each person feels uniquely valued and important.
And how do you go about finding their preferences?
We communicate with all of our participants throughout the process and on an individual basis. And when they register for a trip, we do ask those sorts of questions to ensure that everything that we book for them is as per their preferences.
So Angela, how do you stay up to date with trends in travel and experiences?
We attend international trade shows as hosted by us, as well as educational trips where we get the opportunity to experience the country or destination firsthand. And this really helps us build in an itinerary with a client. We're also kept up to date within the travel industry with latest trends and happenings, such as flights have recently been reintroduced between Brazil and South Africa, making Rio a really hot top incentive travel destination at the moment.
And in terms of trendy experiences, what are some of the trends at the moment?
Sporting events are generally on top trend. Attending a Formula One Grand Prix is really exciting. We've had a group travel on a yacht from Barcelona to Monaco and attend the Monaco Grand Prix in the main grandstands overlooking the marina. And it is just a spectacular experience.
And Sharon, on these trips, how do you ensure that the participants feel both rewarded and engaged?
Well, Ashley, we like to include surprise and delight elements throughout the entire trip. So examples of these are room drop gifts. We celebrate special occasions, and we sometimes keep part of the itinerary a secret. So when the guests arrive in the destination, they are surprised by what happens next. We also like to ensure that everybody feels very included during all activities.
Lastly, Sharon, what makes Achievement Awards Group travel stand out from other corporate travel?
Well, actually, I think the answer to that question is that our incentive travel team forms part of the Achievement Awards Group, which is a larger business that specializes in the design and implementation of end-to-end human engagement and incentive solutions. Because we've been in this industry for a long duration of time, we have really forged strong relationships with our local suppliers in various destinations. And this has resulted in a very strong and stable environment for us to operate in, which is beneficial for our clients, knowing that there is stability when they work with us.
And I'm sure this is something that many other corporate travel doesn't have.
Quite right.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.